On in and join us, family. We're gonna have a discussion about getting ready for the future, and I titled this "Struggling with the Basics" because in order to get ready for the future, we have to understand what's going on, and we have to understand what our next steps need to be. So tune in and check us out. I'm hyped. Let's get it. Peace, family, peace. First off, I want to make sure that you know that I appreciate you. Also, I want to remind you that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim. Of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simple production. All day, every day, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Struggling with the basics. This one is kind of hard. Well, actually, the Mars talk about truth once always throws me busy every time I get into the conversation. But this one's talking about getting ready for the future. And some of the things that we need to do to prepare ourselves for the future. Some of the things that we need to do to prepare ourselves as individuals, and some of the things that we need to prepare ourselves as a group. Now, of course, with the Nguza Cyber Challenge and with Gye-Nyame, we always try to get people to focus on getting yourself to a certain level first. And I know this sounds selfish, but until we are able to get past certain personal obstacles, it will be almost impossible for us to work with groups. All right? So, in getting ready for the future, I have to get myself to a certain level. I got to get my family to a certain level. And of course, you could do this within a group, but until these things are accomplished, establishing yourself in the culture, establishing the principles within your life, getting them to work for you in your life so that you can have a clarity and an understanding as far as what it is that you're trying to build. You're always going to have problems. And what we start running into is that when our principles are not aligned and our culture are not aligned, and we start embracing others' cultures, we start seeing that we start to struggle with basics. We struggle with basic understanding because we're trying to see the world from another perspective, and it don't always fit with us. And even when it do seem like it fitting with us, it's causing all types of confusion and all types of pain within your personal life. Struggle with the basics. You don't have the basic understanding. You don't have the basic knowledge to move you forward. Basics are things that you need so that you could build a foundation so that you could move to the next level. Now, part of the major issue for many of us is moving to the next level financially. Many of us put this first. It's the first thing I got to do. I got to get a better job, or I got to get more jobs. Not realizing that until I have the cultural foundation, and from that culture, the principal foundation, regardless of how much money I make, I am going to lose it. Understand that it's the principles that help line you up so that you know how to use the resources that you get and where to apply them so that you can guarantee that they continue coming in within your life, right? So many people focus on financial success. Many people focus on relationship success. Many people focus basically on being successful and being the best, when in fact, they have not started with the basic building blocks of a healthy life. In fact, they look right past the basics and they want to move to other things that requires the basics to be a strong foundation to hold that other thing that you're going for. And even when we don't understand who we are and understand where we are and understand when we are, even our basics become confused. Of course, in life, you got basic needs. You got basic housing. You need basic housing, but do you need a house of your dreams? You know what I'm saying? Or the dreams that's been given to you. Everyone needs transportation, but do you need the transportation of your dreams or the transportation that has been programmed in you? Everybody needs a wardrobe, but do you need the wardrobe that has been programmed into you? Are these things adding to your life? Are they adding to your family life? Are they adding to your tribal life? We get our basics when we don't have the cultural foundation, when we don't have the principles that rise up out of that cultural foundations. We confuse our basics with our wants. Matter of fact, we confuse our needs with our wants, and we combine them in a perverted way to where we start striving to get the trinkets of success rather than grasping success itself, right? When we don't understand our principles, when we don't understand, like talking about resources, when we don't really understand what ujamaa or ujamaa is all about, we start messing up our lives and in a sense start messing up the legacy that we're going to leave for our children, because we start misusing the most important resource that we have. We start misusing our time and think that our time is about making us better when our time is about making us as individuals better, rather than lifting you up as well as others around you. We begin to struggle for our basics. And because we're struggling for our basics, everything else in life starts to fall off. We start confusing success with just the monetary aspect of it. When we get ourselves together, right? When we truly understand and we ground ourselves in the culture and we ground ourselves in the principles and we start operating in them and we start building up circles and creating mindsets that are working within our principle system, all of the other stuff that we're talking about will come to us. And then even deeper, we will start to be able to evaluate what is really meaningful and what is just figments of our imagination or trinkets that's being thrown out to us to keep us diverted from dealing with what's real. So when we talk about getting ready for the future, we have to prepare ourselves by grounding ourselves into our culture and moving forward empowered so that we can stop struggling with the basics, master the basics, and get to doing some true nation building. Now I done ran over, man. But yo, I want to thank you for tuning in. If you listen, I appreciate you. If you want to learn more, come to freegnjecourse.com. Also, know that we are streaming live on GNJ.Media from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. around that time. I haven't started streaming yet. But I want to thank y'all, and I'm out. Peace.